Hi, welcome to my channel and thanks for joining me at Anne's Space. This time something I haven't done for a while, and that's go travelling in my van. So I'm inside my van at the moment and I've been heading north from Brisbane and I'm going as far as the bitumen. So wherever the bitumen stops, that's where I'll stop. So come along with me, enjoy my travels, and hopefully, like some of my other videos, I might inspire you to do something similar. So stick around, lots to see, and I promise you there will be some interesting animals and birds that you may have never seen before. So come with me on the journey. I kept this trip really spontaneous. If something interested me, I'd stop and sometimes stay the night, which is what I did here at Miriamvale, because there was this historical cemetery walk and I thought, oh, that sounds fairly interesting. So off I walked. These are really old gravestones. It was only a short walk, probably 20 minutes or so. Here there was flying foxes, or they're commonly known as bats. Thankfully none of them pooped on the van. Now I do love sunsets and you'll see a lot of them as I go through my travels. And these ones were actually taken at Boyndale Bush Camp, which is right next to a huge dam, which was fairly empty while I was there. But oh, it was such a nice place that I actually ended up staying there for 3 nights. It was really, really cold overnight, but beautiful, beautiful days, and I did lots and lots of walking. Continuing to travel north, I stopped at St. Lawrence where there were these wetlands. It was a good chance for me to pull my camera out, which I haven't used for ages, and try and get some decent photos of birds. Well, I didn't get many photos, but it was still beautiful. And I was parked with this as my view, which was sensational. Now it is sugarcane season, so lots of trains going past. This one was actually a freight train, not a sugarcane train, so my mistake. But yeah, it was fun to just sit in my van and watch. Rather than going straight back to the A1 highway, I went out to the coast, which wasn't too far. There was this boat ramp in the mud. Oh my gosh, you can imagine the crocodiles coming up here. And this is this bit of the road that took me to that muddy boat ramp. It was gravel, not too bad, so it was quite interesting. I went through some little rough patches and there was a listed nature reserve, so that when the tide came in, I'm sure it would look quite beautiful. Well, after leaving Brisbane over a week ago, I finally arrived at the coast. Now, this is sort of why I've headed north on this winter's day, because there are such beautiful beaches here. Yes, those who know Australia know there are crocodiles on these beaches and in the water, but let me show you what I've come to. So this place is called Clairview. It's actually a dugong sanctuary, and it's just under 900 kilometres north of Brisbane in southeast Queensland. And it was so nice to actually have a walk along the beach, and yeah, a good chance to test out my new little tripod that I bought when I was in Bali earlier this year. My next stop was actually at Camilla Beach. Now this is a council-owned camping area, very basic, but it was so nice to be here. I could walk down to where the river came down, I could walk along the long beach, and yeah, I ended up staying there 3 nights. Now I'll just show you in a minute where I was camped. So it's just 4:30 and I've just finished a walk along the beach and half an hour of yoga, And now I'm going to sit down and have a wine. But before I do, let me share my view. Isn't this sensational? So I do have neighbours, but they're not too close and not too noisy. Everywhere I stayed, but this was at Ball Bay. There was this beautiful little track just in from the beach, and as I wandered along I saw an echidna, which is a little bit like a porcupine or a hedgehog, but unfortunately I didn't get a good video footage of it, but trust me, they're there. And it was just like in the middle of nowhere. The beach was really long and really nice, and I almost missed the sunset. Obviously this is facing east, so the sunsets I get are very lucky, because I'm looking the wrong way. Better sunrises. I'm now about 1,200 kilometres north of Brisbane at St Helens Beach. Now this was an excellent camping place. It was actually free to camp, a bonus, and you could get a hot shower for just 20 cents. Now how good is that? And it was actually quite a nice, peaceful place to stay. The beach wasn't very long, but there was some good photo opportunities, which got out my camera and had a bit of a play. It was quite popular. There was a lot of vans, but I didn't feel crowded, and it was just a nice place to relax. I only stayed there one night, but I might pop back in there on my way when I head south, and I'll share that with you. Now, I've not edited the speed of this video, but look how fast the tide came in. It was really fascinating. I'm like, man, that is so quick. You wouldn't want to be caught out on a sandbank. Now, when I'm driving these hundreds of kilometres per day, I do listen to audiobooks and don't actually pull off very often. But this was one view that I couldn't resist. And the road was really scary. Now, you can't actually see it so much in this video, but it was super, super steep. The van copes really well. I've got a Mercedes Sprinter, and no problems going up or coming down. But it was just a little bit hair-raising for me. The next place I'd like to share with you is Murray's Falls. Now, there's a national park campground at these falls, and it's only about 20 odd kilometres off the Bruce Highway, and 3 kilometres of gravel road, fairly potholy, but certainly doable if you just take your time. But look at these stunning waterfalls. It was just beautiful. And there was a few good walks to do, one to the bottom of the falls, one to the top of the falls, and then one along the river. And yes, of course, I did them all. The campground there was excellent, lots and lots of room, and I could park somewhere that I could get solar. And here is the Ulysses butterfly. Oh, I was so fortunate to see that. It's just a beautiful, beautiful butterfly. And if you're patient, you can get some really good shots. Now this is an example of one of the tracks that I was walking on. Really pretty, really defined track, no chance of getting lost. And then I went down by the actual creek, and this is where there was children swimming, and very, very clear. And I'm not sure if you can see it on this clip, but there were actually fish in there. Oh, there's one there now. So just a beautiful, beautiful area, and definitely recommend Murray Falls Campground to anybody. Like I mentioned earlier, it is sugarcane season, and here is one of the sugarcane trains. Yesterday at Murray Falls, I met a really nice, friendly lady. She actually worked at one of the local information centres, and she told me about this spot. This is actually Alligator Nest, and it's just out of Tully. A perfect place for swimming, but not today because it's very grey and it's not cold, but definitely not sort of weather I want to go for a swim in. And here it is, plenty of steps to go down into the water, making it very safe. And then over the other side, a little bit more fun, just around the corner from where my last video was. Well, I came through here before, so I figure I can come through here again. It's only about 20 minutes out of the town of Ettersdale and a very popular swimming spot. Then it was time to head back to the coast. Now I went through the city of Cairns and ended up at Palm Cove. This is totally different area, very, very touristy. And although you're still in crocodile territory, they have lifesavers there, and they must have the nets out because you can actually go swimming here. It was a beautiful, beautiful spot, and really glad that I stopped and did this diversion. Then I carried on up the coast further north. Well, good morning. This morning I'm at Newell Beach. Now, it probably means nothing to you, it meant nothing to me, but I stayed at a golf club just near here. It was okay. At least it meant I could have a nice hot shower. But down here at the beach, isn't it beautiful? But yeah, there are crocodiles around. I've just seen the sign. I took a photo, so I'll share that with you here. But I'm heading up to the Daintree today, and anyone who's been to Australia will have heard of Daintree. It's north of Great Barrier Reef, which is known by lots of people, and north of Cairns. So keep sticking around and enjoy this trip with me. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to speak over this one because we've got the lawnmower here. But this is the Daintree River, very popular place to come if you want to go crocodile spotting. And this will be a boatload of crocodile spotters. I was surprised to pay nearly $50 to cross on the ferry. A lot of the ferries in Australia are free when they're part of the roading system, and I actually naively thought this one would be the same. So here am I, ready to cross the river to get to Cape Tribulation. And yes, we have to stay in our vehicle. It's just a 5-minute ride. And the guys are doing their job. Not quite sure what they're checking for, but they're checking anyway. And yes, it cost me $49 to do a return trip on this ferry. It's not cheap, right? So I'm now on Cape Tribulation, and there's been a lot of roadworks as I've come up the coast, near the coast. You can't actually see much of the water, but I've stopped here at Thornton Bay, which is a very wide beach. So let me just show you it. And there it is. I feel like I'm on a Pacific island. Now, I promised you at the beginning of this video that you'd see some unusual birds. This one is a cassowary. Now, they're an endangered bird, very old breed of birds, but super special, and I was so privileged to see one crossing the road. Just come down onto the boardwalk in Noah, and it's just amazing. It's through like almost a mangrove area, but I've been able to see where lots of bird life has been and digging it all up. And it's just amazing. And plants here are in nowhere else in the world. So many of them. Such a unique area. Just come up on another boardwalk. This one is at Cape Tribulation, and it's just almost as far as I'm going. I've got about 2 more kilometres. I can keep going on the bitumen, and I'll show you that when I get there. But anyway, I'm going to do this walk first. It looks really pretty, as you can see behind me. And I'm now off the boardwalk. Well, it's still a walk, but it's not a paved walk, it's a track. And I'm heading down to Mile Beach. It's probably much the same as what I've been seeing, but I like to do as many of the tracks as I can do. Oh, this is nice. And it's interesting that the further north I've gone, the whiter the sand is. Well, I've now gone as far as I can go on the bitumen on the coast of Eastern Australia. And here's the sign, somewhere there. There's the sign. I knew it was there somewhere, that says, yeah, it's 4-wheel drive from here on in. And yeah, my van's only a 2-wheel drive, so I've now turned around and I'm gonna start heading south. So I hope you've enjoyed the drive up the east coast of Queensland as much as I did. And here's just a few more photos that I'll share with you. But to come is the video of me heading back south. So do come back and watch it, and do start following me if you aren't already. And until next time, I'm going to say bye for now, and thanks for watching.